Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Emerald with only one Rattata was a rough one. It was just a super frail Pokemon. Let's follow that up with an even weaker Pokemon. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Gold with a team of only one Hoppip? Alright, so I know why you guys have been suggesting this one so much over the years. Hoppip is a crazy weak first form flying and grass type. Our stats are just awful, about on par with a Rattata, but we're slightly less frail at the cost of doing less damage and being slower. This is easily one of the weakest Pokemon in the entire game. By level up, we start with absolutely no attacking moves. Yeah, that's Splash at the top there, plus Synthesis and Tail Whip. At least we can heal with Synthesis, but Tail Whip and Splash just means that we'll have more power points to waste before we're allowed to use Struggle. I'm mostly just interested in Sleep Powder and Leech Seed, although I don't know if I'll be able to keep them the whole run or not. Tackle being at level 10 is rough. By TM we can't really learn much more that's good. I could get Sunny Day and Solar Beam, that would be our strongest move, plus Sunny Day will power up Synthesis, so we could heal more as well. Return is going to be our strongest physical attack, so we do need that one. Maybe we have Return, Sunny Day, Synthesis, and Solar Beam at the end? Hard to say. Leech Seed might still be better than Synthesis, and Sleep Powder's really good. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I predict this run is going to be much harder than the Rattata one. Between Pokemon Gold being full of Pokemon who double resist grass, and our generally underwhelming move choice, I could see needing to be level 100 just to beat Lance. I mean, he has 3 Pokemon that double resist Solar Beam. It's gonna be brutal. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Hoppip. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace the Chikorita with Hoppip so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Chikorita so that our rival would have Typhlosion, probably the hardest for us to fight. I named him Scotty Too Hottie, like Scotty Too Hoppy. That name is awesome. Massive props to Drunken on Twitter for the suggestion on that one, it's incredible. We can't use numbers and names in Pokemon Gold for some reason, so I just put a T, but that made it Scotty Thotty, which is even funnier. Oh, and I took this bit of stats footage after I already started the grind because I forgot to get it earlier. Alright, so, you ready for the start of this run? Like we went over in the intro, we have no attacking moves. That means we need to find a Metapod to help us run out of power points. Problem is, unlike in Gen 1 where wild Pokemon had unlimited power points, in Gen 2 they actually run out. Now, considering that we have 75 power points worth of nearly useless moves, and you realize to not have Metapod run out before us and beat us with Struggle, we have to find a Metapod, use 30 moves, run away, find a new Metapod, use 30 moves, run away, find a third Metapod, then we can run out of our last moves. But then we have to run away again because it's already used Harden like 5 times by then. So to actually have some health left over, we have to find a 4th Metapod and fight that one. Metapod only have a 15% encounter rate, by the way. What you're watching right now is just me doing that full process once, and you can see how little experience that gets us. This trip took about 17 minutes, and we hit level 6. It was one of the quicker trips, both because we need less experience and because we got a critical hit on both of the first 2 Metapods that we used Struggle on. Every time I need to heal, I use berries and potions, because the Poke Center will restore our power points, and we really don't want that. Thankfully, it wasn't too horrible, and after a little bit longer than an hour, we hit level 10 and got Tackle. Now that we can finally attack properly, I went straight to Bellsprout Tower. As a grass and flying type, we double resist grass. Most of what hits us here are just Bellsprouts with Vine Whip, so it was super easy to clear out the whole place. Gotta get those last minute experience points before the Flying Gym. The Flying Gym started pretty easy with Pidgey. You'd think that Pidgey would use super effective moves on us, but it actually doesn't have any. You see, their special move here is Mud Slap, and we're part flying, so ground moves don't hit us. Pidgeotto, though, was a scary one. He had flying moves. Right away we missed Poison Powder as his first gust messed us up enough that we had to heal with Synthesis. We could only heal slightly more than his Gust could hurt us though, so we missed Poison Powder again and just had to keep healing. On the third try, we finally poisoned him, but we're still taking so much damage from Gust, and we only have 5 power points on Synthesis. He ended up critting us to nearly take us down as we used our last heal, then we just had to tackle. We crit to take him to yellow health, he hit us down to 1 health, and then we crit again to finish him off. That was crazy close, although I don't think I needed that last hit to be a crit. So the next part of the run has me really worried. Not only do we have to deal with the Hiker and his Geodudes without having a grass move until level 30, but after that is the Bug Gym with a Scyther who likes to spam Fury Cutter, a move that's dangerous on any run, let alone one where we have a weakness to bug moves. Although, does Flying resist Bug? I don't remember off the top of my head. I should have Sleep Powder by then, so I think the strategy is just going to be to get them with that and then hope they don't hit us that much. So, the Pokemon champion Russell was easier than I expected. He could hardly do any damage to us, so I just softened him up with some Tail Whips first and then started tackling them down. It still took a little while, but at least we came nowhere close to fainting. Last before the Bug Gym is Slowpoke well, so I used it as my chance to get any last moment level ups. The poison types that Team Rocket can use here are kind of annoying since we're actually weak to poison, but they don't have anything that hits too hard. Bug Gym time. The strategy here is to use Leech Seed, put them to sleep, and spam Tackle. We were hardly doing anything to Metapod, but he couldn't really do anything to us either, so I wasn't too worried. What I was worried about was Kakuna, who had Poison Sting and could poison us, but the same strategy worked fine, and we took him out before we could get poisoned. Against Scyther, I was pretty worried, but he never actually built up any Fury Cutters, and Leech Seed kept us healthy, so things actually went great. You know what might go worse? Our rival fight that starts with Ghastly. Our only way to damage him is to Leech Seed him, so I just seed him and try to keep him asleep as much as I can. He has Lick so he can paralyze us, and since there's a fire type later in the fight, we have to really hope that doesn't happen. It took quite a few tries, but we got this run where he managed to put us to sleep. That actually helped us, since we can't get paralyzed in our sleep, and his Licks hardly do any damage, so things turned out fine. For Quilava, we obviously had to put it to sleep right away and Leech Seed for safety. Our tackles were hardly doing anything, so I was pretty worried, but we got lucky and Sleep Powder kept him asleep for ages. Eventually though, he woke up and hit Ember, taking out almost half of our health. We managed to heal back up a bit before we took him down. Last was Zubat, but he's pretty frail and couldn't hit us hard, so Leech Seed and Tackle did the job. Still, Tackle is crazy weak. We really need an upgrade. Alright, so next up is the always terrible normal gym, but this time it's extra bad. We're part flying type, so we're weak to Whitney's infamous rollout. It's a move that builds power though, so I'm thinking we can just use Sleep Powder and Leech Seed and try to sap away at it. Normally I'd say we're doomed since we can't deal enough damage for her to not just wake up and use Milk Drink, but we finally got to Goldenrod and our friendship is high enough that we can get the TM for return. We have a decent little moveset put together now. It's a shame our stats are so bad. Time for the normal gym, first with Clefairy. Normally it's super easy, but our return didn't do much. Clefairy's first metronome ended up using Nightmare, and that didn't work. Then we missed a Sleep Powder, and she used Mimic. Right after we managed to put her to sleep in Leech Seed, but she quickly woke up and metronomed Aurora Beam. We're quad weak to that, it hurt. We managed to heal back up by putting her to sleep and using Synthesis before finally taking her down. For Miltank, we naturally put her to sleep right away and Leech Seeded, but not before taking some damage thanks to Miltank being much faster than us. We were hardly doing any damage at all with Return, and I was getting really worried as whenever she woke up she could hit us with 2 rollouts before we could put her back to sleep. My biggest worry was that she'd wake up and use Milk Drink to heal far more than we could hurt her, but we lucked out and she didn't wake up while her health was low, giving us a first try win on a really hard gym battle. Sleep Powder is a must-have, I gotta say. So we're at the dance hall now while I get some experience and pick up the Surf HM. I'm pretty worried about the next part of the run. We can't get much farther until we beat the Ghost Gym, but his whole team are Ghost and Poison type. That means Return won't hit, and even once we learn a grass move to hit them with, it won't be very effective. At level 30 we get Mega Drain, and that's literally our best move we can get for now, since the TM for Giga Drain is in Kanto and Solar Beam isn't until after the 8th gym. Plus, Sleep Powder, Synthesis, and Leech Seed are all really good. What do I even have to get rid of? This is before you could get old moves back, so any decision I make is permanent. I gotta be careful. Well, we're here. It's a great time for this week's Chimera ad. This week we're checking out the essential tank tops. I'm a big tank top guy, so I'm happy to show these off since they are super nice, just like the t-shirts. It's summer after all, and their tank tops and t-shirts have been keeping me alive while I'm out there gardening in the sun. These tank tops are super comfortable for both staying active and hanging out around the house, and come in loads of different colors. I know what color you're all gonna get though. You're gonna get leaf green. Isn't that awesome? Sorry, red's just called red, not fire red. Still looks good though. If you're gonna go pick something up, then make sure to use the promo code Mah-Dry-Bread at checkout to get 10% off of your order and to let them know that I sent you. Now, are you ready to watch me lose hilariously badly to some basic ghosts? Okay, so check this out. This isn't the Ghost Gym leader, this is just the first trainer in the Ghost Gym. Mega Drain is the only move we can learn right now that hits ghosts, but it's only a 40 power move hitting poison types, so it's as strong as Absorb. Not only that, but it only has 10 power points, and we can't get any power point ups until we can surf outside of combat, so after the Ghost Gym. We actually don't have enough power points to make anyone's Pokemon faint. I am already regretting getting rid of Leech Seed, but then again, I think I'd regret it more if I replaced anything else. The only thing I can think of would be getting Hidden Power and hoping it's good against the ghosts, but it wouldn't make sense to replace Mega Drain just for this one fight. Then we just wouldn't have a grass move until Solar Beam. I don't know how I'm gonna beat the Steelix at the Steel Gym without a grass move, so I think I have to grind. So the grind right now just consists of me trying to take out all of the trainers in the area that we have to travel through later so that we can save time in the long run. You know, clearing out places like the lighthouse. You can actually get all the way to the Lake of Rage at this point if you want. We can't surf outside of combat yet, but you can go through Mount Mortar pretty easily. The only problem is that the trainers are pretty weak in Gold for a long time, so there aren't many high-level Pokemon to gain experience from. The only nice part is that they're usually so weak that even our Hoppip can beat them. That said, it's still normal to see Return not one-shotting everything. I get the feeling that we're gonna have to clear out every trainer and still not even come close to winning though. We have to get strong enough that we can beat Morty's entire team with only 10 power points. I think it's possible though, they love making themselves faint with Curse, and we have Synthesis and Mega Drain to help us heal up. That'll hopefully offset some of the damage from their Curse. Honestly, without Curse, I'm sure we'd need to be a much higher level, so I'm just thankful that at least there's that. Although, I have to hope they only use Curse near the very end of the fight, because if it's near the start of the fight, I'm probably losing. After fighting every trainer I could find, we got to level 36, and then lost 3 times in a row to the second ghost trainer in the gym. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna need to go get that TM for Hidden Power after all. It can't be worse than this. If I just need a move to handle ghosts, then maybe I can get by without Mega Drain. Real worried about Steelix in the Steel Gym, though. Okay, never mind, we're sticking with Mega Drain. I tried learning Hidden Power, and it's also resisted by the Haunters. In fact, it does even less damage than Mega Drain does. Good thing I saved before this. I guess that means I'm grinding. We're out of trainers, so I'm thinking that this patch of grass just west of Mahogany Town is the best place to grind. It seems to be doing an alright job so far, but I think that I'm in for one of these awful grinds. See, by now our stat experience is probably totally maxed out just from the quantity of Pokemon that we've fought. Stat experience is like Generation 1 and 2's equivalent of having effort values. If it's maxed out, then that means that we can't use things like Iron or Protein to get stronger. We don't have any other moves that we can learn that actually hit ghosts, so I think we just have to grind until I'm able to make Morty's whole team faint with 10 uses of Mega Drain. I guess the strategy is just to spam Sleep Powder alongside it to try and stay safe. I seem to remember this gym being a huge problem on my Sunkern only run as well, but that was the second Pokemon challenge that I ever did, so I didn't know as much about the game back then. Still, this is brutal. We've already got the Miracle Seed to get a little bit extra power out of our Mega Drain, but it's still not much. After that poison-only moves run that I did, a lot of you guys started saying that if I'm totally brick-walled like this, I should hack in rare candies. Lots of people also said not to, but one thing I noticed is that a lot of people said that if our effort values or set experience are already maxed out, and there's literally nothing we can do but level up, then they're fine with it. That and to get level ups on Pokemon who are falling behind in team runs, but that's unrelated to this. Plus, I'm not sure I'd want to use the rare candies in a team run like that since it probably would impact the stat experience, but that's a discussion for a different video. So here's the compromise I'm gonna make. I'm gonna grind for an entire workday. If I still don't stand a chance and there's nothing I can do to get past the fight, then we'll just hack in rare candies and I'll try this at every level that I think I stand a chance at winning, and then we put rare candies aside to not use unless we hit another brick wall that would take more than a day to grind for. That way, we don't get a video a whole week late like the poison moves run. That seems win-win, right? You guys get more videos without it compromising the strategies used in the videos themselves. There's literally no difference between if I grind these levels or if I get them with rare candies because our stat experience has already maxed out. So if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go grind for the next few hours, then we'll see if we can even get to Morty. Okay, so after grinding for a good few hours, we hit level 45. It started as well as it could with us putting Ghastly and Haunter to sleep and slowly taking them out with Mega Drain. I could tell that we couldn't win as soon as we got to Gengar though. Would you look at how little damage we're doing? We ended up taking him down because of a crit, but we started the final Haunter fight with 0 power points when I need at least 3 more. Alright, first thing tomorrow I'll use some rare candies and try a few more times each level. We need to make some progress. First, I level up to level 48 and try again just to get almost the exact same result. It takes the same amount of hits to make everything faint, but we didn't crit so Gengar didn't go down. Okay, well, we need a lot more than this. Level 52. This time we 2-shot Ghastly, 2-shot Haunter, had a long battle with Gengar that left us with only 2 power points left, and as we finally got to the last Haunter, he survived with a sliver as we ran out of Mega Drains. I'm so happy I don't have to grind for this. Level 53. I would say that it goes the exact same way, but when we got to the final Haunter, we actually did slightly less damage this time. Could you imagine if I had to take 15-minute breaks after each failed attempt to go grind another level and then come back? Because I can. I've done that in tons of challenges. Probably over 100 challenges. It sucks. Level 55, because I want 2 levels for safety this time. So I've only been showing you runs where I get to Haunter, but just so you know, more than half of them end up like this, when Gengar is putting us to sleep and hitting us with Dream Eater, making us instantly fail the fight, since he heals too much for us to be able to beat the whole team again. It took tons of tries. In the end, we finally got a 2-shot win on a run where we had crit twice earlier, so we still had leftover power points. Had that happened multiple levels ago, we could have won this. Whatever, I'm just happy this is over. Alright, next is a little bit of a boss rush. We have the Fighting Gym, the Steel Gym, and the Rocket Hideout, followed by the Ice Gym. We're pretty overleveled for this, so I'm feeling confident. Plus, we're part flying, so the Fighting Gym shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's go give it a try. Hey, you need another reminder of how weak Hoppip is after that Ghost Gym? Check out the Fighting Gym. I thought this would be a slam dunk, just to end up getting put to sleep and confused for so long that we nearly lost. We resisted their moves, and they're weak against our Mega Drain, and we still nearly lost. The Steel Gym was a stressful one. The Magnemites were both easy with return, but Steelix kept waking up and hitting us really hard with Iron Tail. We ended up winning, but I really don't like how close it got. I'm just thankful that we kept Mega Drain because this fight without it might have been even worse than the Ghost Gym. Okay, so the last major areas before the Elite Four are the Rocket Hideout and the Radio Tower. We have to go do the Rocket Hideout first, as that will unlock the Ice Gym, and the moment that we get that badge, we'll have to go do the Radio Tower. This is a decent enough place to get some last-minute experience before the Ice Gym, but honestly, I don't think it'll be that hard. Yeah, we're really weak to Ice, but they're just flat-out weak. I think it'll go fine. If anything, I just want the extra levels to make sure that our rival fight in the Radio Tower goes well. Plus, the Radio Tower itself has a lot of poison types, as well as a few electric and fire types. We're weak to all of those, so I want to make sure that I'm prepared. So the Ice Gym ended up being a first try, but considering how much damage we took from Aurora Beam, we absolutely could have lost. Literally on the first try though, Piloswine missed Blizzard, so it turned out fine. I probably should have just used Sleep Powder for safety. Time for the Radio Tower. Like I went over before, the poison types here make things a little bit annoying, but they're still not super strong. There's a ton of trainers though, so plenty of experience to grab. The only real boss fight in here is the rival fight in the basement, so usually I just show that. There's some executives here that are probably supposed to be the boss, but they're always just really easy, so let's go do that rival fight. So, this fight really reveals a common problem with our Hoppip. We can beat most things, but only if we can get it to stay asleep for a few turns. As soon as one thing wakes up too early, everything falls apart. Case in point, in this fight we were perfectly fine taking out plenty of Pokemon that could have made us faint, but on any try where anything wakes up, we're as good as doomed. One Thunder Wave or Curse and we're done. As soon as I get a decent Sleep Powder luck run like this one though, it looks easy as can be. Didn't even get hurt. All that's left is the Dragon Gem and a rival fight before we get to the Elite Four. I think that the Dragon Gem is going to come down to if we can one-shot the Dragonairs or not. If we can, then I think it should go fine. If we can't, then I'm guessing we'll get paralyzed early and taken out. We'll see what happens. So at the Dragon Gem, I thought it would be pretty hard since we weren't one-shotting the Dragonairs, but on the second try we managed to put all of them to sleep so we never got paralyzed. Because of that, Kingdra actually went pretty well. We did get hit by Hyper Beam, but it really didn't do that much damage, so we had an easy time taking her down. Not bad. Okay, so we're in the home stretch now. This is the area where we can grab the TM for Solar Beam, so I made sure to grab it. I already have the Sunny Day TM since I grabbed that earlier in Goldenrod. I'm not going to learn it right away since Mega Drain still helps us fight while we travel, but we will probably have to learn it before the Elite Four. I was originally thinking I'd go with Return, Solar Beam, Synthesis, and Sunny Day, but the more I think about it, the more I think that that won't work. Lance has 3 Pokemon that double resist Grass. It might make more sense if we ditch Synthesis and keep Sleep Powder instead. It sucks to lose all of our healing moves, but we're in desperate need of Sleep Powder since there's no way that we could one-shot them. That means that we're gonna get a bunch of hits in on us in the long run. Sleep Powder can prevent that so long as we're faster. Let's just go take out the rival first and see how we do. So this one took a few tries, mostly because if Magneton paralyzed us, we'd just lose, but as soon as we got a run where he stayed asleep, things went much better. In fact, we never took a hit because his entire team went to sleep. It's a boring way to win, but we're a Hoppip. What else am I supposed to do? Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our stats. Well, they're not really great. I gotta say, I'm second guessing if I even want Sunny Day and Solar Beam. It seems like most of the Pokemon in the Elite Four in Johto resist Grass. I might still need it for Kanto, but is it really gonna help me that much here considering I'm fighting so many Flying types, Fire types, and Poison types? I mean, it's still gotta be better than Mega Drain and Synthesis, so I guess it's still worth it. I really don't think we can win this with only 85 special attack though. Lance has 6 Pokemon, and 5 of them have moves that are super effective against us. Only 2 of his Pokemon don't resist Grass, and none of them are weak to it, so I really don't think that we could win this without great sleep luck. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Psychic Trainer Will. First up is Xatu, so I hit Return, and then put him to sleep so I could set up my Sunny Day for the rest of the fight. He just used Confusion Ray on us, but we never hit ourselves, so things went fine. I mean, until Jinx, who we hit with Solar Beam, she survived, and then we got one-shot by Ice Punch. Hey, did you know our special defense is our best stat? We're not even close to ready. Let's try again in a few levels. Okay, I grinded up to level 70. This time Xatu went down fine without hitting us, and Jinx actually ended up being a one-shot with Return. The second Xatu didn't get hit by Sleep Powder on the first round, and got us with Confuse Ray, but at least we put him to sleep right after. 2 returns took him out, but not until after we hit ourselves once. Executor took about half of his health and damage from a return, but then he used Reflect, so I had to put him to sleep. It worked though, so I managed to waste a few of his turns of Reflect before finishing him off. Last was Slowbro, so naturally we just used Solar Beam. Even with his Amnesia, it was a one-shot, so that was pretty cool. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. Ariados is first, and he used Double Team, but 2 hits of Return took him out, so he never landed a hit on us. Muck probably could have really messed us up, but he stayed asleep long enough that he never landed a hit. Crobat fell to the exact same fate as Muck, and for Venomoth, I just didn't bother with Sleep Powder thinking I'd one-shot him. Naturally, I didn't, but his Supersonic missed, so it didn't matter. Last was Fortress though, and he's crazy tanky. Knowing Return would hardly do anything, I put him to sleep, set up Sunny Day, and spammed Solar Beam. It hardly did anything, but it's still more than a return. Thankfully, all he used on us was Swift over and over, and it was far too weak. He wasted some of our power points with Protect, but things went fine. If Sleep Powder had missed, I'm sure Crobat and Muck could have taken us out, but this was a first try. Third is Fighting Trainer Bruno. Hitmontop just got us with Quick Attack a couple of times before going down, and against Hitmonchan I used Return thinking that it might one-shot. It was totally the wrong move since I forgot he had Ice Punch, but in spite of being quad effective against us, his special attack was so horrible that it hardly did anything, so we were fine. For Onyx, I used Sleep Powder and Sunny Day to get ready for Solar Beam, just for him to wake up and override our Sunny Day with a Sandstorm, hurting us in the process. Thanks to that, I had to put him back to sleep and make it sunny again before finishing him off, but we went into the Machamp fight with low health. Right away I went for Solar Beam to try and one-shot him, and got close, but no knockout. He went for a Rock Slide that absolutely would have made us faint, but he missed. Thanks to that, we just used Return and Solar Beam as he used a Max Potion. We took him out. Last was Hitmonlee, but we put him to sleep and knocked him out with one return. Fourth is Dark Trainer Karen. Right away we lost many tries due to Umbreon's Sand Attack, but on this try we put him to sleep, used Sunny Day, and then used Solar Beam. 2 hits took it out. Second was Houndoom though, and although we put him to sleep and started landing hits, he woke up and hit Flamethrower while it was still sunny, bringing us all the way down to only 1 health. Right after I used a Max Potion, but we were able to take him down with 2 hits of Return. For Vileplume, we obviously had to put it to sleep since we only have 1 health left, and it worked as she never woke up. But against the Gengar right after, she woke up right after the first Solar Beam and used Lick to finish us off. Okay, we just need Houndoom to not hit us. Then I think we could win. On the very next try, we never got hit by Flamethrower, so we had a very easy time with Houndoom and Vileplume. Houndoom and Vileplume, there's a buddy cop movie for you. Against Gengar, it's still a problem since we don't hit very hard, but then it got much worse when she used Curse, so we are taking tons of damage per turn. By the time Gengar went down, we had half health. Last was Murkrow though, and thanks to her terrible defense, we just one-shot her with a return. Finally, Pokemon Champion Lance. First was Water Onyx, and after many tries of this fight, I can confidently say that this is the easiest member of the team. We did our regular combo to take him out just fine. Next up was the first Dragonite though, and I've learned from previous attempts that Solar Beam is very much not worth using on them. Right away, I just put him to sleep and then spammed Return. It took 3 hits to get the knockout, but we dropped him to red, so he could have used a full restore. Not really sure why he didn't. Aerodactyl's next, and we really need Solar Beam for him to go down since he resists Return, so we did our combo on him. Believe it or not, Solar Beam was a one-shot. Next up is Charizard though, and it's still sunny, so we really need him to not wake up. Thankfully, he's not as tanky as the Dragonites, so it was only a 2-shot to get the win. 2 Dragonites left, and I know this level 51 is the Fire Blast one. The sunlight is faded though, so I think I could take a hit. This time though, he doesn't want to stay asleep. Right away, he healed the first sleep with a full restore for some reason, then the second one he used a full heal. Probably would have been smarter to use those in the other order, Lance. Maybe then your Dragonite wouldn't have fainted. Last Dragonite is out, and it seems like he must have wasted all of his full restores on the previous one, because we just managed to put him to sleep and then take him out in a few hits. You want to know how many tries it took for us to get that good of sleep powder luck? Believe it or not, only 8 tries. I was expecting much worse. With that victory, we get into the Hall of Fame and win the run, but you know it's not over yet. Gen 2 has all of Kanto in the post-game, including 8 gym battles and a secret final boss fight with Red. 7 of those 8 gym battles are super easy since they're weaker than the Elite 4, so we're gonna skip ahead to the next real challenge, Blue. I made sure to grab leftovers on my way through though, so that we have some kind of passive healing for the last fights of the game. Okay, first try, and Pidgeot goes great with us just putting him to sleep and using Return a few times. What doesn't go so great is when Sleep Powder missed Arcanine, so his Flamethrower hit us for 3/4 of our health, then we got burned. This is gonna take a few tries, isn't it? Many tries later, and we finally get an attempt where we could just take out Arcanine. See, it's hard because we need extra good Sleep Powder luck considering he has 2 full restores that he uses on Arcanine to keep waking him back up. Alakazam could probably hit us really hard, so I had to put him to sleep too. We could nearly one-shot him, but he hangs on. No full restores though, so he went down just fine. Against Rhydon, I have to put him to sleep before I make it sunny since he can start a sandstorm. Then I solar beamed him down. He actually has Rock Slide, so he could mess us up if he woke up. Next is Water Onyx, who didn't go down to the first solar beam and made it rain, but we were able to finish him off with Return. Last was Executor, but his Egg Bombs were hardly doing anything, so we just used Return a few times for the win. Well, it took tons of tries to beat Arcanine, but the rest of the team wasn't so bad. Alright, that fight went pretty well, despite the many attempts. Red though? Nah, no way we can win at this level. There's no harm in trying though. You guys always tell me to use rare candy cheats in the post-game, so I don't see why not. I'll give the fight a try, then level up with a few candies after each failed attempt, until it looks like we can win. I wouldn't be surprised if we can only win at level 100 with some crazy sleep luck, but this challenge didn't take quite as long as I was expecting, so I've got some time to kill. Let's see if we can just try it over and over until we win. Well, the first try went horribly, because we're slower than Pikachu, so we just get hit by Charm and become far too weak to win. I do find it hilarious that a critical Thunder couldn't one-shot us though, and we even took out Pikachu with a critical return. We're slower than Charizard too though, so obviously we can't win this. Let me just eat tons of candy, that'll help right before a fight. Okay, next try and we're all the way at level 90. Pikachu went great with him wasting 2 whole full restores on him. Problem is, Charizard is still faster than us and one-shots us with Flamethrower. Well, that move can't miss, so this isn't happening. Let's just top off our level, we're still not even close to a win. Alright, many tries later. Pikachu goes basically the same as before, and this time we managed to get Charizard to actually stay asleep for a little while. He did wake up and hit Flamethrower before we could take him down though, so our health is pretty low. Espeon went down to the usual Sleep Powder and Return combo, and next was Snorlax. Now, I was petrified he'd just use Amnesia since it would shut us down pretty hard. We need Solar Beam if we're going to deal enough damage to this guy to take him down, but on this very attempt, things went great, and we managed to get a 3-shot in on him. Second from last is Venusaur, and I didn't bother with Sleep Powder knowing he'd just Solar Beam me and it wouldn't do much. Well, it actually went better than that, because as soon as the sun faded, he made it sunny for us. Because of that, the moment we took him down, we could just first turn Solar Beam Blastoise to knock him out and win the fight. I can't believe he just did that. You know what? Fun run. Yeah, most of it was mostly spamming Sleep Powder, but like, I'm using a single Hoppip. Of course I'd have to spam Sleep Powder. I'm just surprised that it worked. I thought that they'd just wake up and one-shot us all the time. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge should be up next week on Saturday, like usual, when I do Pokemon Fire Red with only first form bug Pokemon. It's gonna be exactly as horrible as it sounds. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time. I don't want to go super long on this outro. I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. But my mom is actually over right now, downstairs playing some Mario Party, and I'd really love to join in on that, so I don't want to take forever, but you know, long work day. You know how it is. Could have been a way longer work day though. Thank you again so much for all the comments on the Pokemon, Emerald Poison Only Moves run, where you guys were all telling me, yeah, if there's no strategy change at all, and all I have to do to win a fight is grind and grind and grind for hours and hours and hours, then you'll allow me to just use rare candies for that. I really appreciate that, because this video would be a week late like that Poison Run one was if I didn't do that, and I would have way less free time to, I don't know, live a normal human being life. I mean, I say that, I still worked late most days last week, and yesterday, and hopefully I won't be today. I just gotta edit this voiceover real quick, and then I'm gonna play some Mario Party with my mom. It's gonna be a fun time. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.